Namaste, soul family, Sky Goddess, and this video is about passions and egos. Okay, now your passions and your egos, they're ruled by your fifth house frequency, and which is also your sun sign, your sun placement, which is actually the frequency that the Earth was in at the time of your birth, right? It's not the sun. The sun um, in itself doesn't actually move, not that we know of right now. All right, so the sun is us. In other words, we are the center of our own worlds, and each of us, we've got a different sun sign being here on Earth whilst the Earth transits the zodiacs whilst revolving around the sun. And that is why your Earth sign is considered your sun sign, because it is you being the focus or the center of concern or discussion for that period. Okay. um I hope that made sense to you guys. So your fifth house, that's where your passions lies. Okay, things that you're passionate about. It's a very passionate frequency. um which also synchronizes with your sun sign. Not everyone have it is not everyone who it is not everyone that has their sun sign frequency in their fifth house. Okay. um Things should start to get a bit better where the speech impediments are concerned. I know you guys feel it too. You gotta just observe, and you will notice the changes in your speech. But now Mercury is transiting Taurus. That began yesterday, April 19, as well as the Sun is now in Taurus, which is the Earth is actually transiting the frequency of Taurus. And so we have a lot of um, placements in Taurus. We've got Sun in Taurus, we've got Mercury in Taurus, we've got Venus in Taurus, we've got I think Uranus is in Taurus. Wait. Yeah, I think Uranus is in Taurus. Um, mm-hmm. And we've got um, year in where we've got year in Taurus, because we're in the year of the ox, frequency 5. And so there's a lot of Taurus frequencies abounding from the varying ranges on that Taurus spectrum. And that includes the family, okay, our jobs, our prestige, our possessions, our values, our morals, our ethics, traditions, everything, beauty, the standard of beauty, physicality, the earth, anything that Taurus embodies, loss, anything that Taurus embodies, that's what we're dealing with specifically this year, okay, in the year of the ox. Like I said, whenever any planetary body or any placement is traveling any particular frequency, there is um, a strong focus on that frequency. That means that we're dealing with that frequency. Okay, so your fifth house, your sun sign, like I said, it is not everyone um, that has their sun frequency in their fifth house, right? So, for example, um, say your sun in Taurus, you were born, let's say during the month of May, early May, okay, between April 19 to May 20. You were born in between that time frame. You're a sun in Taurus. Um, but you got your fifth house. Let me see. You got your fifth house in Virgo, right? How do you then, surmise what or which one of these are, distinctively your passions, or, represents your passions, right? So why not merge these frequencies together? Because they are practically the same. Just as your Mars placement is, it synchronizes with your first house frequency, right? And your Mercury with your third and sixth house frequencies, okay? So you merge those to get a clearer, brighter, you know, precise picture. All right? So that I'm not going to do today. I'm not going to do that with you. Now that is for personal natal chart readings, okay? Today I'm just going to go through, the sun placements being in Taurus and correlating that placement with, Taurus being in the fifth house, because they are the same. They are the same. Now, if you're smart, you'll know, the smart thing to do. If you do know your natal chart placements, as in your house placements, sun, moon, rising, and so on and so forth, right? So if you know your natal chart placements and your aspects, it's quite easy to, connect the dots, even if you don't have your sun placement in your fifth house. All right. So with sun in Taurus, I need to timestamp these videos. Taurus, I'm gonna start at 7 for you. Okay, sun in Taurus. You are passionate about working, and that is that. You love to work. And there's a reason, there's a rhyme and there's a reason why you love to work. Okay? And our passions, they help to form our belief systems and vice versa. So, you believe in roaming. You're a bull. You love to roam. You're a raging bull. And you gotta have dough to roam. Alright? Being a civilized bull, that is. Some of you love to work because you like, to help people. You like to be able to give people things. You love being generous. You believe, I'm not going to say you love being generous. I'm going to just say you believe in generosity. And therefore you believe that one must work, one should work. Um, some of you work because you're just smart, right? You believe in knowledge, and you know and understand that there is much knowledge from working, right? You tend to gain a lot of knowledge uh, on the jobs. For you, Taurus, you tend to, be very, you're like the perfect employee. Let me just say that, because you, 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 you tend to take on a lot of knowledge on the job, and you are a very quick learner because this is something that you believe in. A lot of you are sapiosexuals. You believe strongly in learning, in knowledge, in expanding one's horizon. And so, you strongly believe in your work, and you represent that frequency of ethics and morals. And for you, also tradition, and that makes these ethics and morals that you possess firmly and deeply rooted, right? And being that frequency of um ethics and morals, you know It is only, right that you do what is right, and by the sweat of a man's brow shall he eat bread. And you're not about stealing from anybody. You're about making your own bread, making your own dough, making your own bread, right? And you've got a lot of pride. You don't want anyone to ever catch you, stealing, even if you steal, because there's a lot of pride right there, right? You want to be seen as prestigious and of value. And that is why you push yourself so hard to work. And you've got the built for it. You've got the mind and you've got the built for it to work. Because you are very cocky and you don't like asking people for things because that for the man emasculates you, right? You're very traditional. Okay, there's a loud truck. So you're very traditional, Taurus, and conventional as well. And for a lot of you, you strongly believe, for the mainly the men, you strongly believe that the man should be the provider or the sole breadwinner. So some of you can be manipulative with that, like I, spoke of in the lessons and blessings video, warning you guys not to abuse your power and authority, because a lot of times, you guys are very nurturing and, homely whenever you choose to settle down. And so you always go above and beyond to ensure that your partners are comfortable, right? So that they won't have the desire to seek employment. But that is because you want to have complete control and authority of your partner. And, you know, for each lesson, there's a blessing, right? And if failed, there's also a curse, right? And for you, you must learn not to abuse your authority, okay? Yes, it's nice to want to ensure that the feminine energy is looked after and catered to the, uh, to the extent of your love, right? But it's not so that you can, dictate to that person what to do, and how to live their lives and to whether or not to pursue a career on their own for themselves, right? So let it be for good reasons and not to abuse your authority, right? But you love to work, you're passionate about work because you you don't like to feel bound to anything or be under anyone really, and so you like to make your own money so that you can be your own man or your own woman. Okay, moving on to Virgos. Okay, Virgo, so you're passionate about helping. Okay, you're passionate about helping. Because you're also ruled by Mercury. You too, like Gemini, you're passionate about using your hands, and that's why you love to help so much. It is really a cerebral thing, or in which we're all different. It's the frequencies that we carry. And for Virgos, they love to move their hands a lot like Geminis. Okay, and so it's quite easy to tell sometimes when someone has Virgo highly aspected because they tend to speak, or Gemini, they tend to speak with their hands. They tend to use their hands a lot. And that is why they're so, nurturing sometimes, because they like to pamper people because they like to use their hands. They like to touch you and, soothe you because they like to use their hands. So it's really a belief and a mentality kind of thing. Um, oh, I'm gonna touch on Taurus again. I'm so sorry, guys. You also, yeah, you also, yeah, you do that because you love to help. Yeah, Taurus. Going back to Virgo, sorry. So Virgos, okay, You help as well mentally. You tend to help people because you love to think, and sometimes you may, be enabling people like lazy people, mentally lazy people, because you love to think. And so you want to think at all times. You want to keep your brain occupied because you're also that thoughtful side of Mercury. So you pull on both frequencies, as well as Gemini sometimes. Okay, you both tap into each other's frequencies, the hand gestures, as well as the thoughts and the communication, right? And therefore, that is why Gemini sometimes they come off shy, sometimes they're bold, because they're pulling on Taurus sometimes Cancer, sometimes they're pulling on Virgo, and sometimes which is their sister sign in Mercury, and sometimes they're pulling on Pisces, which is Virgo's inverted sign. So they come off really, they seem to be all over the place sometimes where their communications are concerned and emotion. But that's just, because they are a dual frequency. And when you really think about it, basically all the other frequencies kind of, are interchangeable from time to time, even the fixed signs. Let me just tell you that. And therefore, nothing is really fixed, even what seems fixed, all right? Or what is fixed. But what is being fixed, okay? Maybe we need to look into that, yeah, some more. Alright, so Virgos, you think why you're so thoughtful, you and Aquarius, but I'm gonna say especially you because you rule thoughts, right? You believe in yourself. This is something that I just realized. Yeah, because this too is a journey for me discovering with you, some of these placements and what they really mean, and some of these frequencies that we are strongly influenced by. And I realize, it takes one believing in themselves to really think and to really introspect. And I'm going to tell you why, right? You got to trust yourself to be able to think for yourself. That is so true and so real and so profound. You got to trust and believe in yourself before you can think for yourself. Not everyone can do that because some people they don't trust themselves to think for themselves. Some people they suffer from low self-esteem, which is not something that Virgos suffer from. Though they come off as a hermit, though they seem shy, it's not stemming from low self-esteem. I'm telling you, unless they've got another frequency in their chart that, triggers that low self-esteem. But Virgos, they are not. They are quiet, and that's why they embody perfection because they they are beautiful, but they are not stuck on the fact that they're beautiful, right? It's like that pretty girl who doesn't recognizes that she's beautiful. She knows, but she doesn't play into that because she's thoughtful. She's very cerebral. She's smart. She knows that even the beauty that we physically possess is vanity. Because even that beauty fades over time with age. Though some of us we age gracefully, but the point is it is not something eternal or everlasting. Because when we die, when our spirits leave this form, this body, then this body decays. And Virgos, they know that. So they're sexy, but they know that's not the be all or end all of anything. They're not vain. I'm telling you that. They're vain in their own little quirky OCD kind of way, right? And that's because of them overthinking, overanalyzing. And that could be when they're out of sync, right? Which is imbalance. But you must believe in yourself to think for yourself. And so Virgos, they are confident. Do not allow that public persona of a shy Negro, whether white or all right, I'm gonna stop being contradictory. Okay, ninja. Let me just say ninja. Okay, or biatch. Don't allow that to deceive you. All right, they're quite confident and they can be very crude too. They've got a very thick armor, very thick skin. They're not easily offended because they too know that they think. So they know, reverse psychology and all kinds of shit. So they think, right? But they're confident. And that is why they think for themselves. They don't want people to think for them. And if you know a Virgo or someone who's strongly, impacted by that frequency, you would testify that this person, they don't like when anybody do anything for them because they don't trust anyone to do it as best as they would. Okay? Whether it's a job, a home, a family situation, um, humanitarian work, it doesn't really matter. They don't believe you can do it as best as they can because they have that strong belief in self. Okay? And they have strong morals and values because they've got that Taurus ascendant, right? And sometimes when they are pulling on that very bullish frequency of Taurus, you can see that feisty frequency around them. It's like saying, do not come near me. Though I seem so uh, shy and withdrawn, introverted, don't. Okay? And that's all. Yeah. So Virgos, they're passionate about thinking because they believe in themselves. Okay, that's why they are I analyze. Taurus is I work. I have. But also at work. But I have because, like I said, they too represent our possessions, okay, our possessions and the things that we value. And they love to work. I said that because they want to be, they want to have their own, okay? They want to have their own. They want to have their own because they are, I have. I said it's stemming from pride, right? And it triggers that, that very, Capricorn kind of, uh, image. That's what it does. Okay? And sometimes, their great love for possessions and for having possessions, okay? And for having, it makes, can sometimes make them, come off as crude or, create a very crude and very, unscrupulous image. I'm gonna tell you that. That's also an asset, a fact, a factor and a characteristic of Capricorn. You guys can be ruthless. Capricorns can be ruthless sometimes. Okay? Moving on. No, I'm not. Yeah, these people, they strongly believe in helping. And yeah, their way of helping is nurturing. It's so beautiful. Virgos are passionate about helping people and nurturing people. And like I said, these two, because they value their hands, okay? They love to use their hands. And they love to, they tend to use their hands to, nurture people. Some of these frequency signs, you guys should not trust their hands. I'm not talking about Virgos. Although, because there's a balance in there, because you see that Cancer frequency, it's powerful. I'm gonna tell you why. Kind of similar to Gemini, being, of dual frequencies, kind of. Because Pisces too. But I'm gonna say, Virgos, their hands, another reason why you not mess with a Virgo. Maybe I need to make a video about that. Reasons not to mess with the zodiac. I think I will. I'm not gonna make mention of that right now. I'm gonna make a video. Alrighty, so Capricorn, um, you are passionate about using usury, and you see why I said Capricorns a lot of times come off as very unscrupulous because a lot of times in your passion and pursuit of using people, you get fucked. Ooh, the goat. Well, not the actual goat because it's a rooster in Chinese astrology, but I'm just looking at some aspects right here. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just looking into something right there. So, Capricorns, yeah, you are passionate about wealth. I noticed that with a lot of Capricorns. I'm looking into the chart because I really want to understand why. But I see where a lot of your wealth is tied up in using your voice. Your voice, you may have a sexy voice, a wealthy voice, a wealthy mind. So, you guys are obsessed with wealth. I'm seeing Capricorns. I bet you guys come off as really awkward to a lot of people. Also, for some of you, you're passionate about wealth because um, I'm getting a kind of similar frequency like with Taurus, but not so innocent. I feel like, a lot of you Capricorns too, you're passionate about wealth because you desire beauty, that you desire, for some of you to look beautiful. Some of you are passionate about wealth because you, like I said, you want to be able to help people, and this could be your family. You passionate about helping your family. A lot of you tend to come from, you know, impoverished upbringings, and yeah, the life of a Capricorn is hard. So a lot of you come from, impoverished upbringings, and you tend to develop that passion for wealth because you desire control. To you, you believe in wealth. You believe in wealth, and that is why you're so passionate about wealth. Because, like I said, your belief system is tied to your what you're passionate about, and vice versa. So you're passionate about wealth because you believe in wealth. You believe in facades as well. That might sound shallow, but that's how you are. You believe in, make believe realities, Capricorn. For some of you, you love babies. And some of you Capricorns can be some of the, best parents because you think wisely, at times where wealth is concerned. If you're not, imbalanced and being too greedy and then become a thief, right? But when you're balanced, you sweet, right? And a lot of people don't see that about you because you don't communicate a lot, right? You have a thing with talking which you need to learn and get over. Listen to that lessons and blessings video, right? Because a lot of you, your wealth is tied to talking to. You got a sexy voice, and some of you, you've got the voice of you're like a siren, you can, speak, wonderful things into being. You can speak your own wealth into being too, right? And so a part of your life lesson involves you learning to use your voice and speak. But this can also mean you're not abusing that vocal power of yours to, mislead the mass or to hurt people. Because that can, lead to serious repercussions, right? Like, I'm not even gonna say that because people are gonna, people can be so fucking petty. But it's what's in the natal, it's what's in the fucking placement. But if you abuse that power, there are dire consequences. Um, some of you believe, yeah, you believe in wealth because you believe that you supposed to leave an inheritance for your child. You strongly believe in that. You strongly believe in that. And Virgos too, because Virgos, they're the self-made entrepreneur. They believe in building and leaving shit for their children, right? Virgos, they will always, as long as they have children, they always think about leaving a legacy for their children. And it's the same with a Capricorn. So you like feeling independent, all the earth signs, because you guys rule the pentacles, the money, okay? The corporate world, business, accounting, budgeting, that's you guys. Work and occupation, you guys rule that, right? So you strongly believe in family. You believe in the institution of family. And though you all for the the new age and the new world, the concrete jungle, you still have a level of traditional values to you. You conventional just the same, in a certain way, right? We're in which leaving a legacy for your child and not wanting your child to leave you a legacy. You do them stuff, all right? You believe, and therefore you come off as really helpful, to some people. Because like I said, you not communicating, you come off as cold and detached to some. You come off as, in a fake world, like you're in a different reality. Like you don't want to face the truth sometimes to some people. Alright? And sometimes that could be because of your perspective. So sometimes, you need to shift your perspective, right? I think Will's got that sign, that message. Scorpio sun. Alright? Scorpio sun, Cancer rising, moon in Libra. So sometimes you guys need to shift your perspective. You as well as moon in Sagittarius, Virgo rising. You need to sometimes shift your perspectives because sometimes it's the perspectives that's hindering you from getting your blessings, right? Because like I said, your belief system, it affects your ego and vice versa, and them coming together affects your lessons and your blessings. So you need to work on your perspectives, okay? It's very good to introspect, right? Introspect oneself. That's the only way we can be perfect. Virgos, they seem perfect, they come off as perfect. That's because they introspect a lot, more than the other signs. And their introspection is not biased even to themselves. They are very, very honest with themselves. And that is why they come off as perfect, because you don't compare yourself with other people. Compare yourself today with yourself yesterday, and you decide which you preferred, and which you want to be. And if none of them you seem good to you, you formulate the you that you want to become, and you work on developing the habits that's going to help you manifest that persona. And that's how Virgos are, right? They think a lot, and there's power in thinking. All right, I keep telling people that there's wealth in thinking, there's peace in thinking, there is, a life of ease in thinking. Because when you think and you know what you know, and you know that you know, right, what you know, then you don't got to worry yourself. So there's also ease in thinking. All right, so I'm going to stop there and come back with the fire signs. I'm not going to make this video exceptionally long. All right, I'm going to come back with the fire signs. Namaste, guys.